Hello and welcome back to our basic Arduino series where I teach you the basics of Arduino. So in this episode we're going to be getting out of our comfort zone because we're going to be working with something like it's very new to us because we have been only working with LEDs. So I just wanted to change the vibe a bit for us. So we're going to be working with buzzers, buttons, and learn more methods of working like the if else is gonna get an action now. And I will also post other videos in my channel explaining how does a buzzer work, because I didn't want this video to get so long if I wanted to explain how it works and explain other stuff with it. So yeah, so follow along to check out this amazing piano that we're gonna be making, and it's very easy, fun, creative, and it's also perfect for beginners. So let's get started. So for the wiring, it is pretty simple. You'll need five buttons. Well, if you have more, it would have been better because this is a piano and it has 7 notes. However, we only had 5 buttons, so we had to just um, get rid of 2 other notes of it. Okay, so we have okay, so actually you're gonna have to put each button, as you can see, overlapping this gap. It goes on top of the gap, as you can see. So some of its legs are on this side and the other two are on this side. Look, it has 2 legs from this side and it has the same 2 legs from the other side. So the first two are gonna be before the gap, just like this, before the gap, and the other two are gonna be after the gap. However, for the buzzer, it doesn't really matter. However, you have to take a good look at the buzzer because it has a, I don't know, it's not very clear, but it has a plus sign on this side. Yeah, on this side it has a plus sign, and on this side it has nothing. So this means that this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. Okay, so it doesn't really matter for buzzers, for I mean buttons, which is the left side and which is the right side, I mean positive and negative. Okay, so you could just plug them in as you want. However, I just went with the normal way that on the left side it is the negative and on the right side it is the positive. However, in the video it's gonna look like um, reversed. Okay, so here we have the black wires are the negative wires and the colored wires are every positive wire. Okay, so for each button I have one black wire connected to the negative bar on the breadboard. Here, as you can see, I have a wire connecting, I have this wire connecting the negative rail of the breadboard to one ground on my Arduino board, as you can see. And just like that, this whole rail is full of grounds, and then I could just take whatever grounds here. I needed 6 grounds. Yeah, one for the buzzer and 5, one for each of my buttons. So this was great help for me. I just had to put them on this rail. And for the pins, I just took one of them and put them in the pins, but I avoided the TX and RX pins, which are pin number 0 and pin number 1. We could start from 2 until 13. I used from 2 till 6 for my buttons, and for my buzzer I used number 13, but you could use whatever pin that you like. I just took one from the positive side of the buzzer and then put it in the pin, and then the leftover side from each button, and then just took it to the pin. And yeah, that is technically it for the wiring. It's actually pretty simple. First of all, for each note we're gonna have a variable defining the hertz of each note, which hertz is the unit used for frequency, because as you know, the waves of the sounds are measured in frequency. Okay, so here we have int, which is integer. Okay, and then we write the name of the note that we're gonna be using, and then we write its frequency beside it. Okay, and so I didn't have enough buttons. I only had 5 buttons, so I had to just drop off 2 of my buttons. Yeah, so we have do, mi, and fa, la, and si. And I wrote the value of each one beside it, just like that. Very easy, very simple. And then when we go to the void setup, we write pin mode, and then we write the number of the pin that we've actually inserted that specific button in. I used from 2 till 6, so I just wrote them like this respectively. Okay, and then since this is a button, it is not an LED, just like everything that we've worked with now. So you write input. It's gonna be changing. It's not gonna be like output or whatever. No, it is gonna be input. Then we write an underscore and then pull up. And just like that, we repeat the same process for every single button. And no, we do not need to write anything for the buzzer in the void setup. No, just like this, and you're good to go. So our major work is gonna be in the void loop. Okay, so it isn't that hard, it just needs you to concentrate a bit. Okay, so we're gonna be using the if and else method. So you might ask, what is this method? So this method is just basically saying that if this specific thing happens, then you gotta do this. Else, which means if this thing did not happen, then do the other thing. And the else if here is gonna be like, first of all, I said if and then pressed on the first button. And if I pressed on the button, then okay, the button is gonna, take a signal to the buzzer, and the buzzer is gonna make a sound. But if I did not press on that button, then it's gonna go to the else and then if. So the else is if the other button was pressed, so make the buzzer make a sound. If it wasn't, then else if for every single button we have. And then we write 2 equals. And then for the low and high, so here it is like the opposite of the LED. For the LED, if it is gonna be on, we write high, and if it's gonna be off, we write low. However, here it is the opposite. When we press the button so that it makes the buzzer make a sound, it is gonna be low, and if we do not press it, it's gonna be high. So like imagine it, when you press the button goes lower down, so that you could like memorize it, that it's gonna go low, and if we did not press it, then it's gonna be high. So that is why we're gonna be writing low here. And then you write digital read and not digital write. This is another difference. Okay, so we write if, we open parentheses, and then we write digital read and the number of the pin, and then we leave space, and then we write 2 equals, and then another space, and then low. Okay, and then we write these 2 curvy braces. Okay, and then we write tone. So the tone is for the buzzer. Okay, and 13 is the number of the pin that I inserted the buzzer to, and then we write the tone that we want for it to like go and make the sound. Okay, so I want it to be do. Okay, so and then you just put a semicolon just like that, and then we go down. Else if digital read and then the number of the other pin for the other button, and then we do the same thing here. Tone 13, mi, and then fa, and then la, and then si. Okay, and finally, when we're done with all the buttons that we have, we write only else with no if, because we don't have any more buttons to press so that it would say if. Then we have else, no tone, which means that we didn't actually have a tone. Yeah, there's no tone. We don't want the buzzer to make any tone, any sound. Then we write the number of the pin that the buzzer is inserted in, and then we put a semicolon and close our curly braces. Also, don't forget to add curly braces for each tone thingy, okay? And yeah, that is basically it for the code.